Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I am your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for the 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 74 of our trek, and yesterday we finished a 2-day series on how we can overcome fear when we choose to focus on love. Today, we want to look at why life is not a spectator sport. We are recording our podcast from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. It has been a very busy day of client work, which included a great meeting with a couple from Florida about being involved in a potential technology project. This is a project that I wrote a business plan for nearly 3 years ago, but the timing was not right then. It is still in the very early stages, so we will be seeking God's wisdom and guidance on moving forward. Tonight we have the privilege of watching our grandson Caprono while his parents are involved in other activities, so that is always a blessing for Granny and Gramps. While our life seems very full most days, I have to admit, there are some days I wish it were a bit slower, where I could check out and not have to deal with what appears to be competing demands. I remind myself that most of these activities are from my own choosing, and if I had to do it all over again, I would probably make the same choices. But that does not stop me from the temptation of stepping back and becoming a spectator in life instead of being so actively involved. But life is not a spectator sport. To fulfill our destiny in life, we must be actively involved. For some people, this will be on a large and grand scale impacting thousands, but for others and most of us, it'll be on a small intimate scale impacting a few. Both of these are equally important. Although I am very much of an optimist, I am also very much of a realist. I understand fully that it is not always easy to get through this thing that we call life. If we allow it, day after day, we are bombarded by constant negative images. We are told that we are too fat, too lazy, too dumb, too old, too ugly, too far behind the rest of the world, and so on and so on. And sadly, there are people in the world who derive pleasure from keeping others down. For those who allow it, the world can be a scary, cold, and very unwelcoming place. A place where we are afraid to take on challenges, try new things, and express who we really are, or act like ourselves. As a result, it is important, imperative even, that each of us take an active role in determining how our life is going to play out, and specifically, what role we are going to play in it. A starring role, a supporting role, or that of a spectator. The first two are equally admirable. The third role, though, is one that we need to have a change in mindset. Growing up, one of the highlights of the week that was otherwise filled with work and school was our Sunday nights where all 10 of us kids would sit around the TV, eat popcorn, and watch The Wonderful World of Disney. We rarely missed it. And that got me thinking of another Disney story, the story of Quasimodo in Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. We learn that from his view of life, the cathedral bell tower high above the village square, too afraid to participate in the festivities and everyday happenings going on below and all around him. His conscious decision was to be a spectator, due to the various insecurities, mostly resulting from abusive behavior from the reprehensible Judge Frollo, and also the major deformity that he had, and it means he was missing out on even the most trivial joys that may be found out there. That is, until Laverne, one of Quasi's trusted gargoyle confidants, gives him a boot in the pants by imparting these words of wisdom. Take it from an old spectator. Life is not a spectator sport. If watching is all you're going to do, then you're going to watch life go by without you. And with that simple message, Quasimodo begins to realize that it is his choice on whether he's going to be a participant or a spectator, taking an active role in his life or a passive one, giving someone else power over him or not. It's all up to him. It is his choice. Just like the case of Quasimodo, how our life turns out and how much we participate, simply put, the choice is ours. If you aren't growing, you are dying. This isn't philosophy, it's logic, really. The only time that we cease to grow is upon death. Till then, in some measure, we grow. And reading the logic conversely, it simply states that if we have ceased to proactively grow, then we've begun to proactively die, or at least kill a part of us. So therein lies the answer to life, making an impact on others by pouring our lives into them. It is the only way to lasting satisfaction in life. Satisfaction, joy, and peace comes from making positive progress in our own life and enhancing the lives of others. Stagnation occurs when you are waiting for things to change without being a force for change. If you are of this mindset, you will assume a victim's mindset, one that is full of blame, pity, and excuses. You will end up wallowing in a pigsty of self-doubt and misery. The famous baseball player Jackie Robinson said it this way: "Life is not a spectator sport. If you're going to spend your whole life in the grandstand just watching what goes on, in my opinion, you are wasting your life." Now, like it or not, life is in progress. It's not waiting. You may be a spectator. That doesn't mean that the game isn't going on. It simply means that you are so scared to lose that you would rather just watch. There is no guarantees in life. No sure trail that we will be on. None of us know for sure that we will wake up for tomorrow's trek. Everything else except this present moment is uncertain. Wouldn't it be wiser to live fully? To make a difference today? Don't wait for the conditions to be right to start helping others. Don't blame others for your life situation. Don't pity yourself that you are not actively participating. We have limited moments in this life's time, and they are quickly passing by. So we can't be a spectator watching the lives of others advance. Regardless of your physical or financial situation, you can actively participate in life and in the life of others. If you are a Christ follower, as I am, don't hide behind your faith as an excuse for not participating in the lives of others. Show your faith by actively participating in life. Follow the instructions found in the letter James wrote to the believers, and in chapter 2, verses 14 through 17, he writes, "What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing and you said, 'Goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well.' But then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do?" So you see, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. So I say, live a life that is full and abundant. Actively participate in life each day. Don't be a spectator, be a participant. It's a wonderful life. Well, that'll finish our podcast for today. If you've missed any of the previous podcasts, please check out Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, YouTube, or on wisdom-trek.com. And tomorrow we will look at what it really means to encourage others. So please join us at our camp tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, these nuggets that we consume, I encourage each of you to take time and invest in yourself. First, invest with your time in improving Wisdom Trek by leaving your name, your email address, and a comment on the website so we can provide you with wisdom and insight that best fits your needs. Second, invest in yourself by listening to the 7 minutes of wisdom through Wisdom Trek each day. This is best done by subscribing at iTunes or Stitcher so it's downloaded to you automatically. And third, invest in the life of others by sharing with your family and friends, either in person or online, to journey with us on our Wisdom Trek. And if you haven't done so already, please go to iTunes and Stitchers and leave us a rating so that we can gain exposure for Wisdom Trek and have more people join us. The journal for this podcast can be found at wisdom-trek.com, where we also have pictures, tweetable quotes, wisdom nuggets, and free resources. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.